We've got an update on a Royal Caribbean cruise passenger who was arrested in the Turks and Caicos. We've got a viral video going around that is showing teenagers how to sneak into Knott's Berry Farm in California. And well, one Spirit Airlines plane, they almost had to make an emergency water landing. We're going to show you that video and talk about all that and more right now. Alright, so jumping into story number one, about 3 weeks ago, we brought you a story of a Virginia man who is a father of an 18-month-old who was on a Royal Caribbean cruise for a bachelor party. They went to the Turks and Caicos. It was an amazing time for them. Turks and Caicos was awesome. However, while they were in Turks and Caicos, there was a random security check on his bag. Now, Tyler Weinrich was carrying a bag. He obviously carries a firearm back home in Virginia, and they found 2 9mm rounds in his bag at the time. Now, Turks and Caicos has a very strict policy, which really carries up to a minimum of 12 years in prison for anybody bringing ammunition, weapons, things like that into the country. Now, of course, when he was questioned, he said it was unintentional. Didn't realize that the ammunition rounds were still in the bag. However, right, it's not like he had a weapon to fire the 9mm rounds out of. It was literally just the 2 rounds. Now, he was detained and arrested and put into a Turks and Caicos jail while he awaited trial or waited to go in front of a judge to determine what was going to happen. Now, this story does have a good ending because his congressman, Bob Good, who covers the 5th District where he is from, was advocating for Weinrich and 5 others as well who have been detained there for similar issues. Now, because of this, when Weinrich went in front of the judge, they gave him a 3-week sentence, but they gave it to him suspended. And since he had already spent 3 weeks in there, he was able to be released and sent back home to his family. So it does have a good ending for Weinrich, but it's just another reminder that whenever you're going on a cruise or you're going out of the country, please make sure you're double and triple checking the laws in those countries. I know it sounds silly to us as Americans that you would be arrested and almost given 12 years for having a single round or a couple of different rounds in your bag without an actual weapon. But nonetheless, there are different laws in different countries, so make sure you are double and triple checking what those laws are and making sure that your bags are free and clear before you travel. All right, so jumping into story number 2, it has to do with TikTok and a viral video that is showing teenagers how to sneak into Knott's Berry Farm. Now, we certainly don't condone it. We love Knott's Berry Farm. We've been there as a family. It's an amazing place. We had a lot of good times there. But they are showing people how to sneak past security, sneak past admissions, and jump the fence to get in. Let me know your thoughts down below, what you think about the video that is currently up and playing for your viewing pleasure. However, Knott's Berry Farm has come out and said that they don't condone it, of course, and they are trying to catch those individuals, and anybody caught trespassing will be prosecuted to the fullest extent. Now, I will preface that by saying it's in California, so prosecuted to the fullest extent, be what that may. That typically means you're not prosecuted at all, and you pretty much get away with it. So hopefully that's not the case, and maybe that's why they're doing it, because they know that there's not going to be real repercussions. But let me know your thoughts down below. I wish kids wouldn't do this. Certainly, I've got teenagers, and if I caught them doing this, it wouldn't be a good day for them. But I wish people would just have respect, and this generation coming up would just have a little bit more respect for rules and regulations and laws, things like that. But they are starting to get away with a lot more things than we used to as kids. But yeah, Knott's Berry Farm is dealing with a bunch of trespassers, and it's not the smartest thing. The individual who posted this on their TikTok account, not the smartest thing to be doing in posting it on your TikTok. That could easily be found. You could easily find, I should say, the individual who owns that account, and then go hold them responsible. But again, like I said, they're probably doing it because they know they probably won't be held accountable for it. But let me know your thoughts down below. Kids, if you're watching this, just be respectful. All right, so story number 3 has to do with Spirit Airlines, the 99-cent store of the air. And I say that jokingly. I've never actually flown them, but I've heard horror stories, and this one's no different. So on Sunday, they were flying from Montego Bay, Jamaica, all the way to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Now, while they were over the ocean, the pilot came on the intercom to tell them they were experiencing a mechanical issue. Nothing to be worried about. However, about 5 minutes later, the pilot apparently came back on, stated that they needed to turn around and head back to Montego Bay and to essentially prepare for a water landing. Now, you might imagine, I've never been on an airplane that would do that, but I would imagine the same chaos would ensue. As soon as you hear prepare for a water landing, natural instincts kick in and people start freaking out. And that's exactly what happened on this plane. people started freaking out because the pilot said prepare for a water landing. Now the good news is they were able to make it back to Montego Bay, Jamaica without incident. However, this is just a friendly reminder to pilots out there. If you are not 110% sure that that is going to be happening, I would wait until the very last minute to be able to tell people to prepare for something like that, because as soon as you do, they're going to freak out. Now, of course, once they got back to Montego Bay, Jamaica, people were chattering about it. They were all nervous. They were all just, I think, thankful and relieved that they landed safely. And they did exit the plane normally like you would when you just get onto a normal flight. So thankfully, they were safe and sound. They were able to return. They loaded them up on a new plane to take off for Fort Lauderdale. But let me know your thoughts down below. What would you do if the pilot came on and said, prepare for an emergency water landing? How would you feel? Would you freak out? Would you just, would you start saying your prayers to the man up above? What would you start doing? I think I would try to remain as calm as I can, especially if the kids were with us, to try to be that father figure and valiant, just brave figure. But who knows? You never know until you're in that situation. But thankfully they were safe and sound, and they got back, and they all got back to Fort Lauderdale safely. So let me know down below what you think of that and what you would do if that was you in that situation. All right, well, that's going to do it for today's episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. And look, if you're not subscribed, again, please subscribe. We'd appreciate it. And hope you go out there and enjoy the rest of your hump day and have a great rest of your week. We will see you tomorrow in the next video. And we love all the support, so thank you so much. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.